Guys, seriously, I almost did. I almost said, to heck with this game, put a foot through the computer, and just left.
What did he say?
It was the most infuriating thing that I have ever done in Final Fantasy XIV. However, I think it was a good thing, and I'll have to explain. So doing all the seasonal events and stuff, I had the opportunity to do the Moonfire Faire. Now, what is the Moonfire Faire? I have no idea. It seems like it's a summer party, and there's all sorts of unlockables, cosmetics, and we'll say things that you can just get that are non-power increasing. They're just fun. So I started out my stream, actually, and I did try to stream this, with the main story, and really it ended up being just a chill hangout. We're at the beach, why wouldn't we just sit here and hang out? We do the first quest where essentially we show up to a beach vacation and we have to work a security detail, which kind of seems unfair, not allowing the Warrior of Light to actually have a vacation. I mean, I really hate to say it, but if we don't have these releases, this is why Frey was right. Just saying. As I'm over here dealing with this monster that has been terrorizing the whole fair, I see some explosions going on in the background, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out later. We finish up the rest of the quest, and the quest has us running around, taming some of these Kakutars using the new emote, which is like Uchiwa or Uchiwan. I wasn't quite sure on this one. And once we do, we get the emote and we finish up the quests. Fairly straightforward, really not too much going on. Apparently, as you play through the story of Final Fantasy XIV, you can have more of the characters just hanging out around the beach. I saw nobody. Except for Pint-Sized Phoenix, who is a channel member, and she was dressed up as Tartaru, my nightmare. Well, I follow everyone over and I find the jumping puzzle. Now, me coming from Guild Wars 2, I was under the impression that I would be fairly confident, fairly knowledgeable in doing jumping puzzles and figuring out what they need to do and how to figure them out. You know, like it's something that I've done many times before in the game, put many hours into jumping puzzles. This was the most maddening, anger-inducing, gray hair creating, rage-breaking, monkey brain activity that I have ever done in this game. And legitimately, I was trying to keep it cool because I'm streaming and I'm in front of an audience. I really was, not going to lie to you. But I almost got up and said, F this game. I really did. I almost got up and I was like, that's it. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. This is my hell. This is my literal hell. The problem that I found with this jumping puzzle, in my opinion, is that I don't have a mastery over the movement systems. And I thought about this for a while, that if I'm playing a game like Guild Wars 2, I've had years and years to hone the movement of my character, especially precise movements and jumps and things like that. Now, with Final Fantasy, well, yes, I have had to move around, of course, in the game. I've never needed to be precise until this moment. And let me tell you, it was infuriating. And what makes things worse is that Galactic went up and down this damn tower like 4 times and was like, why can't you do it? I'm over here struggling and trying my best to be okay. Now, I went ahead and spent quite a bit of time on this particular jumping puzzle, seeing how far I can go, seeing if I could make it all the way up to the top. And of course, what you would expect with all jumping puzzles is that you get a little bit better every time. And as I'm getting better, I'm getting further, and if I fall, which happens quite frequently, there's times where if you miss the jump, you have to start all the way at the beginning. And there's probably, if I were to count them appropriately, there's probably about like 50 or 60 jumps that you have to make. And you have to make them in perfect succession. It was maddening. I was so angry, I was so frustrated jumping through all these different things, but I did kind of enjoy it. And the reason being is that I really thought that this was actually a fun thing to do because it offers a new way for me to kind of understand the movement in Final Fantasy XIV and have kind of like a bit of better control over my character. I know that sounds a little backwards, like what do you mean you can't control your character? I've found with a lot of Final Fantasies, we'll say dungeons, bosses, and things like that, the reticles that you see on the ground that you have to avoid, you need to have a bit of precise movement. And while it was stressful, it's also teaching me how to play Final Fantasy better. I mean, like, in my opinion, I believe that it is helping me play a little bit better. Having better control over my character, being able to eye up jumps, the distances, what I can make, what I can't. It's important in that regard. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. At one point, my camera froze, and this was my expression. This was the expression that I had, and I said, you know what? Keep it on, because I don't want you guys to actually see what my true expression is, because I'm gonna punch a computer screen. Just gonna go straight through it. Now, after about like an hour and a half of a 2-hour stream of me trying this jumping puzzle, I get very close to the top, but I don't end up making it. And I call the stream, only for me to log back in a couple of minutes later, trying to figure out if I can do it. Galactic hopped up onto a voice call and was like trying to coach me through it, and I got nearly to the top. I got within like 10 jumps, and then I fell all the way to the beginning, and I said, that's it, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. It's a good thing to have in this kind of game because it shows that there is more to do than just like the main story or the dungeons and things like that. Part of what I had talked about in my endgame video was specifically all the different things that you could have, or at least Galactic brought up all the different things that you could do at endgame, along with a lot of the comments, which is very insightful. I will admit I had to breathe. It was not easy going to bed after this stream, but we did it. And yeah, I'm preparing to progress into Stormblood. I am finishing up with all of my post-Heavensward activities and shenanigans. Recently, I went ahead and tried King Thornton Extreme for the very first time, and that was incredible. Absolutely incredible. And you can see that video here. Otherwise, stay caffeinated, folks.